Welcome to the Sermon in 3 minutes. Today we're in Daniel chapter 2. In chapter 2 of Daniel, the advisors are brought in to interpret a dream that Nebuchadnezzar has had. Now we don't know whether he couldn't remember his dream or whether he just chose not to reveal it. But what he said to his advisors was, "Tell me my dream and what it means." Now the advisors were very keen to tell what the dream meant, if only they knew what it was. But they had no real supernatural power to know what the king had been dreaming overnight. And so this great emperor of the world, which was what he was, is very troubled. They are caught. No man on earth, verse 10 of chapter 2, they say, could tell the king what he dreamt. Eventually Daniel is brought in, for Daniel is a person with the ability to interpret dreams, so it seems. And Daniel stands before the great emperor, the great king, and is able to tell him what the dream was about. A dream about a great figure made up of different precious metals, particularly a golden head, and feet of clay mixed with iron. He says in verse 36, "This was the dream, and now we will interpret it for the king. Your Majesty, you are the King of Kings." Well, that's a very high title. But he goes on to say, "The God of heaven has given you dominion and power and might and glory." Even if you are worth the title, the King of Kings, a title later in the Bible given to Jesus, you only have that authority when it is given to you by God. Jesus stood in front of Pilate just before he was to be crucified at Pilate's permission, and says you would have no power unless it was given you from on high. So the greatest of earthly kings owes their power to God. It's still true in the 21st century. Daniel interprets the dream and tells the king what it means. And the king is overwhelmed and says some very nice things about Daniel's God. God is the revealer of mysteries. It is only by going to the living God that we can find out about the things that really matter.